Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of News Dose, where I give you all of the latest gaming news. And the Game Awards is almost finally here. This very well might possibly be the biggest event of the entire year, and it's now only a few hours away. Actually, if you watch this video before you watch the Game Awards, let me know your predictions on what you think will be there in the comments below. Nonetheless, we still have a lot to talk about, including a rumor for a highly anticipated Xbox Series X game. This one is really interesting too, and it sounds very ambitious, so we're going to go over all that today. Also, CyberPunk 2077 just released, and wow, did they ever get off to a good start. Before we get into all that though, let's get right into the news, starting off with Call of the Sea. So Call of the Sea has been out for a few days now, and launched right into Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, you gotta love Xbox Game Pass, but it's a pretty good game from what I've been hearing. It currently has a 79 overall score on Metacritic, which is pretty good for this type of game. And that's something about Call of the Sea. This game is going a bit under the radar right now, but if you like puzzle games or narrative-driven games, you might want to check this one out. Not only does it have gorgeous environments to explore, but there's a fascinating mystery to solve with plenty of great puzzles. So yeah, Call of the Sea is now available on a PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and if you have Xbox Game Pass, it's available in there as well. You know, that's kind of been a struggle right now for me. Dragon Quest XI also just launched in Xbox Game Pass, so it's kind of which one should you start with? Dragon Quest XI or Call of the Sea? And then on top of that, you have games like CyberPunk 2077 that released today. Yeah, it's a good day for gamers, and well, a bad day for backlogs. If you've played Call of the Sea though, let me know what you think of this game. I haven't tried this one out myself yet, but I do intend to, so I'd love to hear your opinion on what you think of Call of the Sea. Moving on, earlier this year a Ninja Gaiden Trilogy supposedly leaked by a distribution website. We actually covered this on the channel back in September, and the previous leak pegged it for a March 2021 release. Since then though, we haven't heard much about this, or at least until today. A new retail listing for Ninja Gaiden Trilogy popped up on Extra Life. As you can see, it appears to be available for the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4. For some odd reason, there doesn't appear to be an Xbox One version, but rest assured Xbox fans, you can actually play these games through backwards compatibility, and because Xbox has such great backwards compatibility features, you can play them with enhanced visuals. So in a way, Xbox fans already do have these games readily available to them, but I still would have liked to have seen a complete package for Xbox fans as well. I really don't understand why so many of these Japanese publishers skip out on Xbox. I know it probably sells much less than the PlayStation and Nintendo version, but it's still money. I mean, maybe they can't recoup the cost of development for Xbox, but I'm not sure about that. I guess it is what it is, but for me, the place I'm looking forward to playing this the most is the Nintendo Switch. I think that's a fantastic console to play these older games on, and these are some of the best hack and slash games ever made. I think that this will be a great grab for the Switch, assuming this listing is accurate. There's still no confirmation, but with the Game Awards tonight, who knows? We might end up getting an announcement there. Next up, it's been a little difficult finding a PlayStation 5, and that actually might be an understatement. These things are selling out pretty much as soon as they go up for sale. We've talked about this several times on the channel and how it's in high demand, and then you also have to fight with bots and scalpers on top of that. While the UK in specific, customers are having a rough time thanks to the many issues they've dealt with. There's been several reports of shipment problems. Last month, there were several reports of FedEx shipping the wrong item as an example. So basically, somebody bought their brand new PS5, then they got their package delivered and got all excited about it, and then they open up their box to find something like a toaster. Yeah, this was a whole controversial subject last month, but it seems there's a new problem now. So reportedly, UK gangs are now stealing PS5s from delivery trucks mid-transit. The way this is being done is by using a maneuver called rollover. Essentially, this is something you would see in a movie like Fast and Furious, where somebody drives close to a truck and then proceeds to climb on top of the truck and steals the items inside. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, but apparently it's happened 27 times in the UK this year. I would have never expected that, but yeah, this is actually a thing. Unfortunately, it's also being reported that retailers are not expecting a PS5 restock until 2021. Now, I'm not sure if this is all retailers, but several, including Argos and Smiths, are saying they expect to be restocked in 2021. Some other retailers may end up getting restocked though, so I would still stay vigilant, but it does look like if you live in the UK and you want a PS5, it's going to be very difficult. Sadly, there's just going to be a lot of people who just can't get one this holiday. Luckily though, it does sound like the Xbox Series X will be restocked. So if you're looking for an Xbox, you can at least try your luck there. Moving on, CyberPunk 2077 just released, and this is insane. I think we've all known for a while that there's been a lot of hype for CyberPunk. I mean, this is CD Projekt Red's next big game, the same studio behind the Witcher franchise, and that's debatably the best RPG ever made. And then it also gives off some of those GTA vibes, but in more of a futuristic setting. Of course, Grand Theft Auto is one of the most successful franchises ever made. So yeah, there's a lot of excitement for CyberPunk, but they posted some numbers today that is just absolutely mind-blowing. So let's check this out. They had 8 million pre-orders. That means they sold 8 million units before the game was even out. That is absolutely crazy. And then when you look at how much they sold on each platform, 59% of those total sales were from PC alone. So 4.72 million units was sold on PC, which makes it the biggest day one launch ever on PC. What's kind of funny about this was that World of Warcraft Shadowlands just announced a few days ago that they had the biggest day one launch with 3.7 million units sold on PC. So PC gaming right now is doing very good. Now consoles are doing great as well with 3.28 million sold. It is interesting though that it's selling more on PC. I think it makes sense, however, because The Witcher started out as a PC franchise. It really wasn't until The Witcher 3 that it became more popular on consoles. The Xbox 360 did have The Witcher 2 as an exclusive title, but it wasn't nearly as popular as The Witcher 3. So CD Projekt Red does have a history on PC, and it really shows here. Something else intriguing about these numbers as well is the digital split. We are rapidly heading more towards digital games, and in fact, 74% of the pre-orders were digital. I know back when the Xbox One first launched, there was a huge controversy over digital games replacing retail boxes, but it looks like over the last 7 years, a lot of gamers have migrated over to being more digital, myself included. And that's the thing, I'm a big collector. My entire life, I've collected things. Whether that be Pokemon cards as a kid, which I still have to this day, to high-end game statues and figures. I like collecting things. And for a long time, I did collect physical games. But once I started going digital, it just became much more convenient, and since then, I really haven't turned back. I would like to hear some of your opinions on all this though. Do you buy digital games or physical, and why? Nonetheless, big congrats to CD Projekt Red and CyberPunk. This is fantastic news, and I'm really glad to hear it's been so successful. Let's talk about Xbox though, and there's been a lot of speculation as to what the initiative is working on. Of course, the initiative is a brand new Xbox studio built from the ground up with an all-star development team. The studio head is even Daryl Gallagher, which worked on the Tomb Raider reboots. So there's a lot of talent within this studio. You have developers from Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, Rockstar, and the list just goes on and on. And that alone has fans salivating over the thought of what they can do. That's the question though, what are they working on? Well, we might actually find out tonight at the Game Awards, but if not, we've gotten a few hints here and there. It's supposed to be a big AAA game. We know that from their job listings. They actually said quadruple A, but don't overthink that. It's a AAA game. And then you also had Phil Spencer, which said that they're doing new things in old ways, or something to that effect. So there's been a lot of speculation it's some kind of reboot, and then there's the rumors it's set in the Perfect Dark universe. Well, there's a new rumor making waves across the internet now, and this one is from Xbox Era. So they're claiming that the Initiative's game will be seasonal, with each season focusing on different Xbox IP. According to Kevin from Xbox Era, the first season will be based on Perfect Dark, it's third person, and each season will target 15 to 20 hours. That's actually a lot and very ambitious. Now again, this is just a rumor, and Xbox Era has yet to prove that they're a reliable source. It's possible that all of this can either be confirmed or debunked tonight at the Game Awards if they end up revealing it there. So we might find out very quick if Xbox Era is reliable or not. The reason I wanted to talk about all of this today though is because this has popped up a few different times, and I like the idea of this rumor. The one consistent rumor that I've been seeing is that whatever the Initiative is working on, it's not episodic, but it's something similar. So this kind of goes in line with that. To be fair, every one of those rumors could end up being wrong, but at the same time, this sounds amazing. First off, let's clear up the seasonal content. Seasons is not episodic. Think about how TV shows work or how Telltale Games releases their games. You're looking at a new season a year or probably a couple years apart. I mean, they are targeting 15 to 20 hours per each season, so that is pretty lengthy. But what's fascinating here is that supposedly they're going to explore different Xbox universes. Now that's exciting. It kind of reminds me of a more ambitious version of Kingdom Hearts. Instead of Disney universes, you'll have Xbox universes. I'm also a big Perfect Dark fan, and I would love to go explore that universe, and for that matter, this would be a great way to bring back some old forgotten Xbox franchises. We know Rare has a ton of games to explore, and then you have games like Lost Odyssey and Blinks. I would love to explore some of these universes. I mean, this would be a great way to bring back old, dormant franchises. If this ends up being true, I think that this is incredibly exciting. I mean, of course, this is still a big if, but I like the idea at the very least. Hopefully we find out tonight if it's true or not, but I guess we'll see. On to our last topic though, Xbox officially announced that XCloud will be making its way to PC and iOS devices in spring of 2021. Now this is big news for iOS users. Much of the year, Apple has been in the news for not allowing these game streaming services to be on Apple devices. It's been a whole thing, and Microsoft obviously was not happy about it, but they didn't give up either. They're actually doing something very similar to what Amazon did with Luna. So basically, you'll access xCloud through a mobile browser. This isn't necessarily ideal, and it'll probably affect its mainstream appeal, but if you are an iOS owner, you will at least be able to access xCloud. The installation will likely be a little strange, but you have to take what you can get here. Hopefully, Apple changes their policies in the future, but so far that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. Anyways though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to hit the notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.